It's stress free when you don't have to care about charts, price action, and things like that. When you know without a shadow of a doubt you invested in a winning team that's only won, that's surrounded by other people who only win. Look at Alfred Khan's history. He's in the history books. Look at the current license holder of Pokemon, and notice how they all the like. Look at Disney. Look at Marvel. Similar people attract, and look at the circle that's surrounding VeVe and Ecomi. So if you let a loser talk you out of your investment and talk you out of your bag and understanding exactly where this project is going to go, you're going to regret that in the future. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. And this one, we're going to go over a pretty funny comment that I got yesterday, because I sometimes forget how quickly the community is growing and expanding, and a lot of people are new to NFTs. So when I hear certain things, I just breeze right over it. And someone actually commented yesterday, like, yo, this man just said that 98% of crypto or NFT projects are going to fail, and you just breezed right past it. And it's like, oh, so you don't really know what's happening right now if you're just getting into NFTs. So basically, everyone is just getting into NFTs. It's a trend right now. It's just cool to be in the NFT space. So you have a ton of projects coming out. You just have a ton of people trying to capitalize. You have some people who are just making really, really cool projects, but it doesn't have what it takes to sustain. It doesn't have the utility. It's not going to have an interest long term. It's not going to be interesting. And right now, pretty much any NFT project has potential to take off, because everybody is willing to put money into any NFT project. But it is going to come down to a time where your project has to actually bring value. It has to be valuable. And Gary Vee, one of his biggest points has always been a focus on IPs. That is what's going to allow a project to have longevity. And yeah, so basically, VeVe and Ecomi, this is not something that they have to worry about, because they are partnered with the most powerful and strongest brands in the world. So yeah, like, this is one of the projects that everybody's just like, okay, the US government's partnered with them, Disney's partnered with them, DC's partnered with them, Marvel. You just go down the list of partners that they have. VeVe is strong, and it's a solid project because it's not about VeVe. That's the thing. When these projects come out and create a project around themselves, of course it's easier to take that down, or it's easier for that to go down and people to lose faith in that. But in order for VeVe to go down, people would have to lose faith in the hundreds of brands that VeVe already has. And yeah, VeVe has already touched so many different communities. That's not really a problem that we have to get into. But that being said, we are going to jump into this here. Before we do, be sure to drop that thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything going on. And you're basically going to hear Gary Vee talk a little bit about why a lot of NFT projects are going downhill, and some of his investment strategies when it comes down to the NFT space. So yeah, we're going to jump into this. And yeah, I mean, there's always a lot of nuggets and stuff that he says, and gems that it applies to the NFT space as a whole. I know that people come into this space, they love a project, and you only tunnel vision in and you focus on that project. But as an investor, it's wise to learn the entire space that you're in, so you can't get shocked by something that you didn't expect. And that's what constantly happens. Like when Marvel came and everybody was shocked, when Disney came and everybody was shocked. This is stuff that I was saying 6-7 months ago. And that's because it's important to do your research and your due diligence. You should know things before they happen. That way you can be in position to invest. Now, obviously, we don't get token pumps because of the lack of utility and things like that. But this is why it's important to know that information, because if there was utility in all of this stuff, that was an easy point in time. Because I understood this information back then, I could have been in a great position to capitalize off that. But I mean, I'm still am. I mean, I'm still in the project. This is a long-term hold for me, but this is what I mean by due diligence and the importance of it. But yeah, let's jump into it, y'all.
I think people have to be thoughtful about that, but I'm incredibly interested. And I've been saying this over and over, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, and feel free to say I've seen it or head nod here on the screen. Like, I believe that we're now in the summer of projects. Like, there are way too many projects coming out every day. And so while this is happening, while I still want to get my fix as a collector and as a learner, I'm spending more time looking back at 2017, 18, and 19 and finding OG projects. A, because I like learning and I like history. B, as somebody who'd prefer not to lose money. I've worked fucking 30 years super hard for the money I have, no matter how much of it I have. You know, I'm not in the business of losing it. And I think it's much more interesting to, you know, bet on some OG shit than it is on the stuff that's coming out every day right now. I'm incredibly concerned about the projects that are coming out every day right now, even the ones that are.
So when he says he thinks that it's a better bet to bet on the OG things, this is what separates VeVe from any of the other any other projects in the NFT space. When he talks about investing in the OG things, what's more OG than Disney? What's more OG than Marvel? What's more OG than comics? And what's more OG than stamps? VeVe has everything OG that you can think about, and then they have new stuff as well. So there's just a perfect mix and balance of everything. VeVe has so much history on it because no matter what happens in the world, like for instance, like people were concerned yesterday when it comes down to Disney and their metaverse and things like that. People don't realize how tied in with VeVe Disney actually is, because they will never have first appearance NFTs again. They will never have first appearance NFTs again. They gave that to VeVe. And I think that that's something that's slipping right past people. People are concerned, yo, what if they do the same thing that happened to Netflix? What if they start their own NFT company? Like what if they make their own metaverse? The thing with Netflix is that Netflix just took an old movie and got permission to use their old movie and put it on there. The first time in the history of humanity, Disney decided to create NFTs. They gave that to VeVe. That means a lot. Like when it comes down to the Marvel Mighty series, this is a part of the Marvel IP owned by Disney that they gave the VeVe team the rights to create, because it does not exist anywhere. That's a VeVe exclusive. These Marvel Mighties are VeVe exclusives. Disney gave VeVe the rights to create something from scratch. And then they just had a new movie Eternals come out. And they also added that into the Mighty City. This is the amount of trust that they have in VeVe. VeVe is getting the first appearance of a lot of Disney things, and people are kind of sleeping on that. People aren't seeing the bigger picture, but I mean, it's going to be more clear soon enough. Disney is very calculated. I think a lot of people expect the CEO to just come straight out and say, "Oh, we're giving this to VeVe," like just like they expect VeVe to just come out and address things openly. But that's just not how the business world works. Would it be nice if you had all the information? Of course, if you had all the information, no investment would be a risk. If you had a company that says, yo, here's our whole plan, this is 100% what we're going to do on this day, that's how it's going to happen. I mean, of course, if nothing goes, like, yes, it's going to be perfect every single time. It wouldn't be risky to invest. But you don't know the full plan. You don't know the full strategy. You don't know if the company is actually in a position to be able to do what they're saying that they're going to do. You just don't know these things. So you have to go based off the things that you do know, like the team's history, the company's history, the partners that they have, how much due diligence these partners do. Like when you see all these random people in the comment section talking straight foolishness and nonsense, who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to this moron in the comment section? And yes, they're morons. Or are you going to listen to Disney and their thousands of lawyers? Or are you going to listen to the US government? Are you going to listen to DC and their lawyers? Are you going to listen to Louis V and their lawyers? It's like, it's really a no-brainer. This project really a no-brainer. No, not financial advice as always, but I mean, it's obvious.
So trash.
Yeah, it's less about trash. It's just human behavior, right? It's supply and demand. The community is going to keep growing, but everybody here, if this is the first time you've been at the forefront of one of these big moments, this is going to take a long time. This is not like September 19th. Everybody.
Do you see this? And this is what people don't get. He gets it. He said, if you've never been at the forefront of one of these things, this is going to take a long time. It should take a long time. Yet everyone wants VeVe to come out and explode like all these other projects. The reason that these other projects are exploding and putting their all into exploding right now is because the time is ticking. The clock is it's almost over for these projects. Their window is closing. As soon as people get smart in the NFT space and stop just putting their money in any old NFT, they're done. They're over with. They're wiped out. It's done for them. But with VeVe can afford to take its time, because if you got a community where 98% of the projects are trash and you have the strongest IP, in the, what are you in a rush for? And that's the thing. People get concerned because VeVe doesn't seem to be in a rush. Yet they don't get concerned that these projects are in a rush. It's like people have this backwards investing mindset, and it really is going to hinder your ability to see the bigger picture. if you keep thinking so narrow-minded. You have to really be able to see the big picture, because that's the only way you're going to be confident in your investment. And this is why so many people don't see eye to eye with me. They just don't. They're not as confident in the investment. They don't think about things logically because they're so busy tunnel vision in on all the explosions going on around them that they can't see. While all the explosions are going on over here, you got one company here just doing his nails, sharpening tools and stuff, just relaxing, sipping tea, building up muscles, doing push-ups and stuff, like really preparing to take over. You got somebody putting in that groundwork, building a strong and solid foundation, while everything else just exploding and super weak at the bottom. They skip leg day, they skipped all type of days. Like it's just it's a difference in how this project is moving. And the people who know, they can see it and they appreciate it. The people who don't know are going to be in for a rude awakening once this project does what it has the potential to do.
Everybody you know is going to be buying NFTs. This phase is going to take like 2-3 years. And so if there's 50 fucking projects coming out every day, and we're 3 years away from like the scale that everybody feels will be here tomorrow, what do you think is going to happen? These same 50,000 people are only going to have so much time. And a lot of the money that's running around is because people made a lot of money in the short term on CryptoPunks or Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's going to dry up. So, I'm incredibly concerned about the projects. I think that, I do think there'll be 5 projects from the V Friends, Bored Ape, Cool Cats, like that crew. Like I do believe there'll be 3 to 5 projects that do really well from an investment standpoint. I do think that most people are in it right now financially and looking at these as investments. And as that goes, I think 98% of things are concerning. And I think, I see somebody mention, Jason, buy projects with a narrative. I, for one, don't give a shit about the white papers or the roadmaps. They mean nothing to me. I've been investing my whole life. People show me their roadmaps and their investments all the time. I don't care what your fucking plan is. Can you fucking execute it?
And that is key. So this is why I say listen to experts, because Gary Vee, regardless of how people feel about him, he is an expert in this field. He is an expert in this field. So when people say, can you execute him? The first thing that people will want to try to convince you of is, no, the Ecomi team cannot execute. But when you look at the majority of their hiccups, it always has something to do with another company. Now, I'm not saying that they're the greatest company at picking partners or coming up with timelines and things like that. But if you want to talk about can you execute, at 17 years old, David Yu, the CEO, was able to secure the most famous license in the world at 17 years old. And he has held that license all the way until present day. And his business that he started with that license with is still here, it's still prosperous, it's in collecting. At 17 years old, he got a license that people today can't get at any age. And then he started a business with that license, and that business is still going on. He gets the job done. And if you look at the team, they all have similar resumes where it shows you that they get the job done. So it may not be on the timelines that you want, and everybody's in a rush because they feel like, oh, the bear market's coming. What's going to happen? I'm so scared. People really just push this bear market narrative. Like it's insane. It's really insane how people are so fearful of the bear market. Like that is the best time to accumulate more that you could possibly ever get. So if you're nervous, like don't worry about trying to pull investment. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, but what I would do, I'm not worried about taking my investment out, buying back at the bottom or none of that stuff. I'm just going to put more money in at the bottom. I'm going to make more money, accumulate, save. If I'm that scared, if I'm that nervous, I'm just going to save, have some money on the side, ready to put in. I'm not taking nothing out, because what if something unexpected happens and this becomes Amazon overnight? Because it has the potential to. At no point in time have we ever seen a project with this many IP. So this many IP and this quality of IP. No point in time we've ever seen that in the NFT space. And then when you know in the NFTs, what the NFTs are designed to actually do and what they're designed to be and the impact that they will have on the world, are you really going to bank on what's happened historically with an opportunity that will never again come in your lifetime? Are you going to bank on something that that's constantly changing, because from what I'm understanding, every bear market has been different. Every these cycles have moved different every single time. So you're gonna bank on that when really it's unpredictable. I mean, you can kind of maneuver it a little bit, but no one knows what's coming. So I wouldn't play the game like everybody else would play the game, because that's too risky for me. But that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion on it. I tend to have a different perspective than a lot of people. But it keeps me calm. It keeps me balanced, because I know what I stand for. I know what I'm here to do, and I stand on that. I don't regret. Yeah, I have no regrets, and I'm very confident in the team and the investment that I've made. So yeah.
It's very nice that you're telling me what you're gonna do. Every company I've ever invested in told me they were gonna make me rich and it was gonna crush and be the biggest company in the world. And oh, by the way, 98% of them have gone out of business. There's gonna be an enormous amount of carnage with investing in the projects that are out. Just because a project's old doesn't mean it's good either. Just because I'm looking at 17, 18, 19, that doesn't mean it's good either. But Daniel, what got me to the excitement level I did of the 2 projects I've been most excited about, there's 3 projects I've been excited about over the last 6 to 8 weeks for real, outside of like dabbling. World of Women, on a pure, I like the team, that's my intuition. I like the art, that's my intuition. I like the community, that's my intuition. And I like the way it looks, and I feel people can associate with it. That's my intuition. That's 4 guesses. Number 2, Tom Sachs Rocket Factory. Tom Sachs is one of the most successful contemporary artists in the world. He also put together maybe the best project, in my subjective opinion, besides VeFriends, with doing real life stuff. Put 3 pieces together, make a rocket. We're gonna film the shooting of the rocket. The rocket's gonna come down. I'm gonna put it in a glass case and send it to you. Oh, by the way, Tom Sachs's art in a physical form normally is valued at like $30,000 to $60,000 on the low end. And I get a token and that? Wild. So to me, that was brilliant. And I know he's running it and in it for life.
Still doesn't compete with comic books on VeVe. Just saying. I mean, those are worth over $1 million. I mean, in real life, physical form. Just saying. Got to put that out there.
And then number 3 was this Crypto Strikers. Why? All
right, y'all. So we're going to end the video there. He's just going over some other projects and stuff now. But yeah, I thought it was important to share this video with you all, share this perspective with you all, because as an investor, you do need to be prepared for what's coming. You do need to be educated on the space, and you need to know how it moves and how to maneuver in it. I have a very different approach from a lot of people, but it helps me sleep at night. It helps me sleep at night knowing that I know a project so well that I can not worry while everyone else is, while everyone's looking at charts and things like that, having to panic and I just chill. I secured a position that I'm comfortable with. So whatever happens, I put more in. Like it's stress free when you don't have to care about charts, price action, and things like that. When you know without a shadow of a doubt you invested in a winning team that's only won, that's surrounded by other people who only win. Look at Alfred Kahn's history. He's in the history books. Look at the current license holder of Pokemon, and notice how look at Disney. Look at Marvel. Similar people attract, and look at the circle that's surrounding VeVe and Ecomi. So if you let a loser talk you out of your investment and talk you out of your bag and understanding exactly where this project is going to go, you're going to regret that in the future. But not financial advice as always, man. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to catch you all on the next one. Peace out, Joe.